Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. For this video, I will be transforming Love from Kuu Kuu Harajuku girls into Betty boop boop beep boop. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's get started. So here I have my version of Betty Boop. Obviously, if you guys are following me on Instagram, you have already seen these drawings, but the first one obviously is a sketch on a paper. For some reason, I do my best sketches on line paper. I do not know why, and then I transfer them and colored them through Photoshop, or actually just my tablet. But I wanted to choose between two looks, so one of them is her original classic red dress, and then the other one is more of a flapper take with the fringes and tassels. I decided to choose the plain red dress because the tassels were not working out, but I think you guys will still like the ending results. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is actually my first time working on a Kuu Kuu Harajuku girl, and I love the silhouette of them. I believe that it's gonna match a lot of characters, but for now she's going to be transformed into Betty Boop. So I'll be giving her yarn hair in the end, even though she already has black hair. However, as you can see, I am cutting this head open because the hair just won't come off. For some reason, the reroots are individually knotted, which is great if you're not a customizer and you just are playing with your doll. But for someone who changes the hair all the time, this was a pain. And you guys may know this is my favorite part. It is so satisfying. And I was just really annoyed and I was not satisfied. Usually this part is like a therapy for me, but oh my gosh, I was stressed out. And over here, I am using my jet black acrylic yarn, and this one I got from Walmart, but I'm pretty sure you can get this also from Target, Michael's, Joann's, really anywhere. Just make sure it is acrylic yarn because I don't think the other types of yarn will be heat resistant. Like, I think this is the only type of yarn that you can apply heat to, so yeah. And as usual, I will be using my pet brushes to make the wefts. After brushing it, I take my hair straightener and make sure I hold firmly onto the weft. I try not to press too hard because I'm afraid that it will break the yarn, but I just make sure I hold it firmly and a little more secured, and I just straighten it slowly. I decided to make more wefts than usual since these dolls have such a large head. I'd rather have more wefts than not enough. And now it's time for some body modifications, and as you can see, I will be using Apoxy sculpt for this. I really want my Betty Boop to have an hourglass figure like she does in the cartoons, so I will be giving her a more pronounced chest and also a wider set of hips. I'm not sure if I've ever done a body modification like this. Oh, you know what? No. I did a corseted look for Violet Chachki. Never mind. But the hardest part when you do a body modification is blending it in with the skin. So after this, I had to sand it and make sure that the edges were blended in. Obviously, we're changing the skin color as well. However, that is the hardest part when you're doing a body modification. And now you guys can call her Betty Kardashian. Or Nina Bonina Brown. And now it's time to remove her factory paints, and for that, I will be using my handy dandy acetone. After she's been cleaned off, I blasted her with a few coats of Mr. Super Clear, and we're gonna go ahead and blend in her new chest and also her hips. I know that I'll be blushing the heck out of Betty Boop's face, so I'm gonna go ahead and blush her body as well. I know a lot of you guys like that look. I personally don't body blush a lot just because I don't like the feeling. I feel like I have to be careful a lot more when I'm handling the dolls, but since she's already been modified and everything, why not? And moving to her face up, I'm going to go ahead and sketch out the features that I want her to have. Obviously, she's going to have big eyes and also a very pronounced eyebrows, so this is going to be exciting and fun for me. As always, I start my colors very light just because it's easier for me to erase it if I make mistakes, which I do often. Especially for this one, I wanted to perfect her eyebrows. I wanted to be my style and my take on her eyebrows, but I also wanted it to look like the iconic Betty Boop brows. Oh my gosh, I just realized she actually looks like a cat. So recently I've been so obsessed with Betty Boop, I have no idea where it came from, but I think I was just looking through YouTube and the older cartoons like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, like literally the really old ones, and I guess I made my way back to the 1930s and I started watching her shows, and I can't believe how funny and witty and creative they are. Obviously, I knew that Betty Boop existed while I was growing up. I've seen her t-shirts everywhere, she has mugs, she has merchandise till this day, and it is unbelievable. However, her cartoons are something else. I was so amazed by the animations that Betty Boop had, and I posted some videos on my Instagram, but despite being an older cartoon, the animations were great. And if you guys didn't know, she actually started as a French poodle. Like, she was actually a dog at first, and then they just morphed her into a human, and I thought that was really cool. You guys should check her out in her cartoons. They are so funny and they're so witty, and I'm gonna link a few down below. For my take on Betty Boop, I wanted her makeup to look like an actual 1920s flapper girl, and I know that she came from the 1930s, however, her character is supposed to be from the 1920s, and so I wanted that really dark, smoky eye with black, like almost film noir type of look, and I think that just set the tone for her makeup, and it made her eyes a lot rounder. I'm just doing some finishing touches with her lashes, her lips, and also her hairline, and we should be done with Betty Boop's face. And that is it for her face. Actually, she looks pretty cool even without hair. Now let's move on to her shoes. I will be making her a classic red pumps, and as you can see, I'm just cutting out the sole part of her shoes. And this time, it's actually going to be a molded shoe, almost kind of like what I did for Adrian from Miraculous Ladybug. So I'm taking my epoxy sculpt and I am molding her pump onto her feet. And no, you cannot remove it, it is permanent, and I did have to be careful with handling her. For the heel, I want it to be a stiletto style, so I'm just using a pin needle as the heel. Right now, I'm just trying to blend in her heel with the actual pump, and after everything is dried, we can go ahead and paint it red. So for the outfit, I will be making her a tube dress out of this fabric, and most of you actually preferred this fabric over the other one out of my Instagram poll, so I will just be making that. I'm just going to be adding a garter belt around her thigh, and this one is just a plain black ribbon. I personally made a heart out of the epoxy sculpt that I painted red.
Alright, Tristan, give me my usual deal with cows and everything.
You got it, Betty. So starting from the bottom, now we're here, I will be gluing down the long wefts layer by layer, and I'm also going to be cutting them as I go. One thing I realized after finishing it was I made her hair too thick, so I wish I didn't do that. However, it still looks really good in the end. It was just stressing me out after realizing that I made her head too thick. So you should have something like this for Betty Boop. Obviously, she kind of looks like Buttercup. She also looks like Edna Mode from The Incredibles, or she can actually look like Sia as well. Well, we need a little bang piece, so here's Sia. See, look at that. The possibility is endless. I actually trimmed her hair and I also sprayed it with water so it's a lot more flatter and it's a lot heavier. And right now I'm just curling it with my metal chopsticks. During the live stream, a lot of people told me that I should get those heat protecting gloves, and I have no idea why I forgot those existed, and so I just ordered myself some and I hope to use them for my next videos. I got these different sizes of rings from Joann's, and I think they're meant for jewelry making, but I just spray painted them gold and I'm using them as her earrings and her bangles. And now she's ready.
Oh my sis. Oh no. Well, that's the last time I'll lend her something. Throwing my stuff around. No ma'am. Not today. I don't know why she's acting like she's Linda Evangelista. She doesn't even stone her own tights.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I had so much fun making the doll and also filming it, as you can see. If you guys want to see more pictures of Betty Boop, go on over to my Instagram page. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!